there, fellow MCU fans, and hail Hydra!
If they cut off one head, two more shall take its place. Hail Hydra.
Welcome to another video by me, the Agents of Hydra. Hail Hydra! So, this is going to be about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's going to be totally overlaying with the latest episode. So I'm going to warn you, there will be spoilers from this week's episode. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, then I recommend you just click the big red X button here above and exit this video and go watch GTA 5 videos, because there will be major spoilers here. But what I'm going to talk about are my top 3 predictions I hope will happen for the rest of the season. Age of Ultron is pretty close by. I think 2 more weeks before it comes out in my country. I'm very well looking forward to it. But so far it's very close. So Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiere will probably be far after Age of Ultron, but it will probably overlap with it all. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you my top 3 predictions that will happen in this final few episodes. But first, a few things first. This is not going to have anything to do with Age of Ultron. I will talk about Age of Ultron the moment the movie comes out. So then I can incorporate it, because then we'll know what route Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. will go with. But until then, let's just go on with this. So first we're going over to my first prediction. Robert Gonzales will be the villain, quote unquote, for the rest of the season. When I say quote unquote, I mean it in the sense that, well, although you can consider Gonzales an antagonist, and he definitely is one, he is not necessarily a villain in the sense from, oh, he's out doing something evil. No, he is an antagonist in the sense that he is against Coulson, and who is the main protagonist. And we're supposed to root for Coulson, so anyone who is in the way of Coulson can be considered an antagonist in some fashion. And Robert Gonzales, well, sort of fits that spectrum. Now thinking back to a quote that Tom Hiddleston made, is that every villain is a hero in his own mind. And I think with Gonzales that's sort of the case, but not necessarily. Gonzales is a villain in the sense that he is against Coulson. He's an antagonist to Coulson because he tries to basically take over Coulson's position, sort of, in that sense. But he isn't doing it out of some evil plan. He's doing it because he thinks it's the right thing. So, but that's actually the most dangerous kind of villain. The most dangerous kind of villain is the villain who thinks that whatever he's doing is the right thing. When a villain thinks that whatever he's doing is for some greater good, that's mostly the most evil villain, and the most dangerous, because they're willing to go through any lengths to achieve that. And for some, they think that's the right thing to do for everyone. And Gonzales, I think, is that kind of a villain. He's a villain who thinks what he's doing is right, but he isn't doing it out of any malicious intent, so he just wants to save S.H.I.E.L.D., which in itself is a noble goal. But he is not. He is still an antagonist in that sense. So I think in some capacity he will still be the antagonist for the later part of this season. But will there be other villains? I think so. You can still sort of include Mr. Hyde, Calvin Sable, as a villain, but I'll get into that later. Next prediction is big scale war between the real S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson, and Inhumans and Hydra. Now, what they teased is basically that the Inhumans are, like in the comics, a very interstellar society. They are very xenophobic and don't like to be known to other people. They will help when it's necessary and their world is threatened, but they don't associate themselves with humans because, well, they're kind of above that and they're kind of on their own, because humans are deeply flawed. Humans are horrible, horrible, horrible creatures. And that's not just in the Marvel universe, that's in general so. And they are really afraid of everything that they do not understand. Hence, they do not understand the Inhumans, hence they will judge them, hence blah blah blah, we get the whole X-Men scenario all over again. But that's really just the case where it goes in. Can Inhumans help Coulson if they need to? Well, if their world is threatened, they will definitely help the side that they think will try to protect both. So I think they will stand with Coulson's side. The real S.H.I.E.L.D., that's still a question of what they will do. And Hydra hasn't appeared that often anymore. The most recent we got was in a few episodes ago when Grant and Agent 33 captured Sunil Bakshi. And what will happen to Bakshi, that is to me still unknown. We know that now Grant Ward will sort of work together, or will seek to work. Coulson seeks to work with Grant, And what will happen of Grant is, to me, still a bit unknown. He can have a brainwashed Bakshi by himself and a very loyal Agent 33. But furthermore, we have no idea what's going on there. What I say is like a full-scale conflict. That's the prediction what I'm going at. A full-scale conflict between Hydra, the real S.H.I.E.L.D, Coulson, and the Inhumans. Or, well, like I better call them the Afterlife in that sense. Calvin and Deacon Lockman's characters, to me, those are still not sure what their role will be. I imagine a big happy family reunion in that sense, because I never really imagined that she was still alive. That was really a surprise. And I'm not going to say her character's name because I'm afraid I'll really butcher her, and I'm a big fan of Deacon Lockman. So, yeah, in that sense, I see a full-scale conflict, but their roles are still unknown. But I will get into Deacon Lockman's character in a second. With my final prediction, Daniel Whitehall will still be alive and be the big bad of the entire season.
The fact that Sky's mother is still alive is for me like the most adequate proof that Daniel Whitehall is also still alive. So as you remember, Daniel Whitehall stole all the internal organs and blood from Sky's mother so he could, one, reverse his healing and one, become quasi-immortal in that sense. But now that Sky's mother is still revealed to be alive, I think that's the most adequate proof that Daniel Whitehall is most obviously also still alive.
With this is, if Sky's mother could survive an operation that basically took everything that she had in order to live, if she could survive that with her ability, and Whitehall sort of, in some small fashion, has that ability, then I think he can definitely survive 2 shot wounds to the chest. He can definitely survive that. He might be out for a while, but I think Whitehall is definitely still alive. And I really hope so. I think they built such a big character up for a while, they built him up so good only to, boom, promptly shoot him and boom, he's gone forever. I don't get that. Why would they waste such a character that they tried to develop so bigly, a villain that could potentially be a major threat? Why, and oh why, would they build that character up only to promptly shoot him twice in the chest and boom, he's gone? I don't think that will do. And of course we also have to include comic book logic into it. If a character is dead, unless you see a decapitated head, or fire, or whatever, unless their body is completely molten in any fashion beyond the ability to heal, then they are definitely dead. Otherwise, you always put question marks with the dead. Unless it's Uncle Ben or Gwen Stacy, you don't put question marks there. You always put question marks on there, so everyone puts a question mark also at Whitehall's dead. So much big character build only for him to be shot twice and then be dead. I don't think that's the case, and I think this here proves it. Although it's not official confirmation that Whitehall in any sense will return into the series, I think that this can prove that if Sky's mother can survive a whole operation that basically should have killed her, then Whitehall, who has a sort of her ability to a minimum, can definitely survive 2 shot wounds. So that's what I hope. I really hope that Whitehall will return to the series and be the ultimate big bad. Now, there's no confirmation if he will return, but I think we can definitely expect him to return. We also got Deathlock back, although he was never dead. But I think Whitehall will return. And I really hope. I'm a big fan of Reed Diamond, and Daniel Whitehall was such an amazing villain, so I definitely hope to see him again. But, so that were all the predictions that I had. What do you hope to happen in the rest of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for more Marvel and DC news on this channel. And until next time, Hail Hydra.